What's up, everybody? Bob here from Digital Escapist, and welcome to another episode of Game Chair Conversations. In this video, me and Brian are gonna talk about something that's very new to me.
I was wondering if you were all by yourself because you didn't introduce me.
Well, I said me and Brian.
Oh, yeah.
See,
I just didn't know if you were just gonna do this all by yourself or what.
I probably could. I don't need you. Get out of here. But no, me and Brian, like something new is coming in my life, and it's probably my favorite thing right now. It's a show called Critical Role, where like these voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons, and I never had no interest in Dungeons and Dragons before at all.
It's not okay. First of all, it's not Dungeons and Dragons. D&D.
D&D. Well, what's D&D stand for?
Why do you got to spell it all out? I mean, that's like me saying, what was that Housemarque game I messed up?
Resogun.
Resogun, yeah, Resogun. I mean, it's like it has the same letters.
I understand. I understand, but for me, since you played D&D, you call it that. I've never played it, so I just call it Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
But anyway,
if you want to get all formal, then go break out a tie. I mean, we're in short sleeves right now, you know.
But so the show Critical Role has got me very interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I have no idea how it's. Well, I have an idea how it's played, but I never played it before. I have no idea the inner workings of it. So before we talk about Critical Role, Brian, tell me a little bit about your D&D experiences, your D&D history.
Okay, so I mean, it was back in the day. I mean, nowadays they have all
1955.
Yeah, well, the Wizards of the Coast wasn't even in existence then, but it was you know, probably back in the 80s, early 90s, and I mean, it was just like two or three of us, a rule book, a set of graph paper to keep track of our stats, probably more like a book of graph paper to keep track of our stats, to keep track of the dungeons and stuff as the dungeon master led us through. Three friends sitting around a table, a bunch of dice, building our characters and playing the game, going on adventures.
Now, did you guys do the whole minifigure thing with the minis, or did you just...
No, now my friend had a minifigure of like just some random mess. Like he had a couple of like orcs and then like a dragon and stuff that we could kind of visualize, but I mean we didn't have our own little action figures.
Because like that's one of the cool things about Critical Role, which is on Geek and Sundry. If you guys have no idea about it, check it out. I love the show. But this guy will bring out, at first, like when they first started doing this, he brought out this big, like grid paper, and he had like a cavern drawn on it.
Right.
And each square represented one thing of movement for the characters and the monsters and stuff. And then he would have all the monsters. Like you've seen the battlefield, but like watching the show, you've seen the battlefield. So you didn't do nothing like that?
Well, I mean, it was, but we didn't have the characters. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We had the graph paper, but it was more like you came upon an entrance to a cavern, and it was up to us to graph it as we went along. Okay. Like he had it like in his, like he had a piece of graph paper with it all drawn out, and then like it was up, but it wasn't laid out to where we could see it. It was like the fog of war, I guess is that what you call it?
Yeah, so pretty much.
It was up to us to like graph out like as he described it, like what we thought it looked like too. And then sometimes, I mean, afterwards we would like compare maps and stuff too. So I mean, that was cool.
So so what got you into this back in the day? Because I know back in the 80s and 90s, this stuff was kind of like bad. It was considered bad. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was like the
it was nerds. You were a nerd before it was cool.
It had this negative stigma to it.
Yeah, it did.
I remember reading or hearing something about like the church going after it for something. I could be 100% wrong, but I remember hearing or reading about it.
I don't remember anything like that, but it just
because it was like, oh, they're playing with demons and shit.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, probably. But I mean, it's not like that.
Yeah, I know, but so how did your
because I was an outcast.
D&D journey start like.
Yeah, I was an outcast.
Was it your idea? Was it someone else's idea? Like what?
No, it was someone else's. I had a relatively small group of friends, and I mean it's not like nowadays. I mean there was no Facebook or whatever. You didn't have 1,000 friends. You had like two. The people that sat next to you in the class, and it's kind of a.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those guys just happened to play it. He actually played it on like it wasn't a league, but it was kind of like he would go down to the shop that sold that type of stuff. He played Warhammer also, like tabletop Warhammer, and so he just kind of got us into it. Me and a couple of my buddies.
So how long did you play for?
Oh gosh, I don't know, a decade or more.
You played the game for 10 years.
Probably.
That's cool. Now, so was it like regularly or was it sporadic?
Oh no. Well, during high school it was regular. I mean, we went out, to these like shops, that's what we did on Friday nights. And then probably once I was in college, it wasn't as regular. They had where I went to school, they had like kind of like the card shop or whatever you would call it. One of those places you can go and do that type of thing. And so we'd go down there, but there was, that was when like Magic the Gathering picked up. So I ended up playing a bunch of that instead. But we would go back and play D&D for a while. So I mean, it was probably a good 10 years or more.
So did your character ever die?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd that work? Did you have to?
No, you just find somebody that can revive you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I started probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 different characters, but if any of them died and I actually cared about it, then there's always a way out.
Mhm. Yeah, it depends on what the dungeon master wants.
Yeah, right.
Like in that Critical Role, if in his world, if you don't act fast, that person's gone.
Yeah.
Like there is ways of getting like going to the underworld, bringing their soul back, and that could be a whole another story arc for that stuff. And that's one of the things I find completely fascinating about this game is like the stories that can be made. I never thought about it like this, but I think that Critical Role, like I love that show. I think it's better than most TV. I swear to God. To me, it's so entertaining because like Matt Mercer, Dungeon Master, he just paints this picture.
Yeah, he's good.
And like he has all this stuff set up, and like I was watching something where he just went through this book. It was like about that thick of like all the different shit that could go on. Like he has his whole world mapped out.
Yeah.
Like there's places where there's people haven't even gone yet, where there's a city already there, like the leaders, like the whole whole bunch of NPCs.
He takes it. Which is a good thing.
And he just paints this picture, and it makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons. It really does.
Well, let me tell you.
I'm sorry.
First of all, the video that you sent us, which was the intro to Critical Role, made me not want to watch Critical Role.
Well, that wasn't an intro. That was just a video. Maybe we'll put it in the description. We probably won't. It was just Google search what is Critical Role. It's just highlights of the show.
Okay, yeah, because that's like all it was. It was like him like saying stuff, the Dungeon Master saying stuff, and then like cuts of them like laughing, and it was like, okay, are they going to show what they're doing?
It ain't all like that, but I mean, like some of this, I won't get into critical, like the deep dive into Critical Role. Oh, I want to go back. I want to go back to you. So, what was your main character's name? His class? Tell me a little bit about your person's story.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with Critical Role, but
it has to do with your Dungeons and Dragons, your D&D history.
That was in the past, but the character's name was Librius, which was essentially just meant librarian in a language we made up for the game.
There you go.
And so that's what you asked me what my PS4 name is, Librius. That's why. When you had to choose something back in the PS3 days, I was still kind of playing Dungeons and Dragons every once in a while, D&D, and so I just used that name. But like I said, I haven't. Now it's been probably 10 years since I've actually played, but it was kind of like a hybrid class. He was kind of like a ranger, but had some minor spell ability. So
that's cool.
But it was kind of like I got the name librarian just because of like his knowledge of like the forests and like ancient languages, that type of thing.
See, with that name, I figured your dude would have been a wizard.
Libris, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It was just
librarian, books. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this game.
Well, I mean, we made up this language for it, so.
That's cool. Now, do you have any standout moments from the game that you can remember? Like
Not really.
something.
I mean,
Not
it's all
really?
fun. I mean, it's all, you know, once you get into it, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's just like you're playing like any game nowadays online. You know, or I mean, like, you know, Uncharted 4, let's just say. So you're playing the game and you're like, man, there's a couple of things that like really stood out. And then, do you remember them in 10 years? I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't. There was no like life-defining moments in the game. I mean, I have lots of fond memories of playing it and, you know, laughing or, you know, like cussing or, you know, just as stuff happened. But I mean, there's nothing super defining.
So I gave you a little homework assignment because I've been wanting to talk about Critical Role and Dungeons and Dragons for a while.
Yeah,
D&D. Did you watch the first episode or did you just watch an episode?
No, I watched. I forget which episode it was. I don't remember the number on it, but I watched probably half of it.
Half of it.
So I watched him like set up. They were going into a town or something to look for somebody, but then they were like, I forget, the town was inhabited by something, and they had to fight somebody or whatever. But
Now, did you see the battle map?
no, I didn't see the battle map.
Because now he's using this stuff. I believe it's called Dwarven Forge. I could be wrong, but they make 3D maps that kind of click together, and like if it's the one I'm thinking about, where they went into a town and was it inhabited by Goliath?
It might have been. I don't know.
Whatever, but he has this whole like town square built up as a battlefield for that one part of that story.
Cool.
And that's one of the things I love, because you actually see like the little figures move around. He moves them. You actually get like
Yeah, a perspective of it.
a perspective, a visual. Like,
Yeah.
And the guy already tells the story so fucking well.
Yeah, he is a great storyteller. He really is.
And the whole thing where like all the characters, they've been doing this for years in this campaign, and they have this backstory that they go to sometimes. And like there was this one, spoilers for Critical Role, but there's this character named Scanlan. He's a gnome bard. He's pretty much a hoe. He's pretty he's a ladies' man. You know, he's a bard. He can do charisma shit and like get in your pants. This one episode, he was trying to bang this chick, and it turned out that it was his daughter they didn't know about, and she was there to kill him. And it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. Like, he had her in her bedroom, had wine up there, and she started fucking talking. Like, he's like, you don't remember that girl in whatever town? He's like, I don't know, maybe. And I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, oh my god, no, he ain't gonna do this. He can do this. No, and he fucking did it. The fucking Dungeon Master did it. Like, and like he didn't even know that he was gonna bring this whole like the guy that played Scanlan didn't even know that he was gonna bring this whole dynamic in. And it fucking, the looks on his faces, look on everybody's faces, because the way they have it set up, they have the Dungeon Master over in one corner.
Yeah, I saw it.
Then they have three or four characters on top, or 3 or 4.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
Voice actors on, yeah, pretty much. And you see everybody's reaction. I'm like, oh my god, it was fucking. I swear to God, this shit's better than fucking TV. There's been fights where I'm on the edge of my seat watching, and like, there's been fucking revival rituals and shit, and like that fucking had my mouth drop. I swear to God, this shit's better than fucking TV.
Well, he makes it better. Let me just tell you, the real D&D is not like that.
I mean,
you get a personality like him and like 8 voice actors together. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it is a good show, but like that Matthew Mercer, He's been playing D&D for like over half his life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I'm guessing that's the way they've been playing it the whole time. He likes to play it. He likes to play it loose, no number crunching. 'Cause he wants to have fun. People go on adventures and just have a fun time.
Right.
But it ain't, that doesn't mean like he won't. He won't like purposely kill somebody. If it happens, it happens. He ain't gonna fuck with things to save a character.
Right. Right.
Because there's been times where people have to, like, he has some type of weird ritual to revive somebody, and he's rolling dice, and like he rolled it and took a picture just to show like everybody that the dice wasn't fucked with, that the roll happened, and that's why that person's alive. You know.
Right.
And
right.
because people are like, oh, you're fixing. I guess some people are like, oh, you're fixing the game for these guys, blah blah blah. And he's like, no. He's like, he ain't. And but I would say, Brian, I know that these fucking things are like 3 hours. Each one of these episodes are like 3 hours long. I've watched all 50 whatever episodes of them. Like this fucking show. This show took over my life for a long time because I had to.
Tell me what's one of the best ones. I'll watch it all the way through.
One of the best ones. I want to say, I can't think of its name right now, but I could look it up for you.
Yeah.
I could definitely look it up for you, and shit goes down. I won't tell you what they fight, but it's a big baddie.
Okay.
In the D&D world, as far as I understand. I don't know. Like, I never played the game, but I want to play this game so fucking bad. And I want to make the world. I want to make the fucking world. I want to just make this massive fucking world that like, people get lost in. Have adventures
Well, just go down to Barnes and Nobles and crack open one of the D&D rule books.
I'm sure I could find it online for free.
Well, I was going to say you could read it at Barnes and Nobles for free and have it in your hands.
I don't even know where there's a Barnes and Noble, so.
Oh, okay.
But so. You said you watched half of the show. Did you like it? Did you enjoy like the show?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but that's not what I remember D&D being like. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you probably played first edition or something. They're using the fifth
probably.
Edition.
But I mean, it wasn't just that. I mean, it wasn't like. I mean, I had fun because of the people I was with, and I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of like you said, back in the day, it wasn't that popular, so it's kind of like we were, on the outside doing this thing, and it was like, I mean, we didn't have a voice actor, as the dungeon master, and, I mean, it was kind of like, we were kind of just like sitting laid back in our chairs, with our graph paper, and it's kind of like, okay, you come up on this, what do you do? Do you run away? Do you roll? Whatever. Okay, you hit for this, then the dungeon master rolls. Okay, well, they hit back for this, this, and this. You do the numbers. Did you survive the battle? Okay, on to the next.
Well,
I mean, he's like in the character. He like plays it like, he's like, you come up on like, they're like, okay, well, knock on this door, and then he's like, he answers the door in the character that would answer the door. He's like talking.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a conversation, so it's like, I mean, that's like really cool. But I mean, it's going to be rare to find somebody like that.
It would be, and we gotta be wrapping this up soon. The Overlord's bitching at us.
Okay.
There in the chat, but I just want to say, like, to me, when you say this ain't like the D&D you remember, they're playing a different edition, and you saying like, oh, it's you sitting back with a bunch of friends. They all work together constantly, so they're doing the same thing, and they're just recording it. Yeah.
Like, well, all I say is just go give it a try. Go find a group and do it.
I'm thinking about making you guys do it. Just a little one-off thing. It must be fumble through the rolls and don't know what the hell is going on, and maybe we'll even record it. I don't know. Show you how horrible I am at this, even though I think I'll be awesome. But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Critical Role, you can watch it on geekandsundry.com. You can watch it on Geek and Sundry's YouTube. I absolutely recommend it. If you love good storytelling, if you love like the fantasy element. If you love Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, and if you like, it got Matthew Mercer. He's in a bunch of games in the anime. Laura Bailey, she's in Dragon Ball Z as Kid Trunks, and she's in a bunch of other stuff. Travis Willingham's in everything. Sam Riegel's in it. Taliesin Jaffe. These are all people from video game and anime. Marissa Ray. And I'm probably missing... Oh, Liam O'Brien. He's in a bunch of shit, too. And they're all fantastic. I fucking love the show. I think it's better than 99% of the fucking TV you can get. I fully recommend it. Check it out if you're interested. But, I guess that's it, Brian. Brian, can they find you on Twitter?
No.
Why? Make a Twitter, Brian. Don't be dumb.
We'll
But you can find... You should do it. You can find me on Twitter at Spidey Gets Slip. You can follow Digital Escapist at DigiEscapeNet on Twitter. Remember, like, share, subscribe our videos. Until next time, talk to you guys later.
See ya.